everybody. Welcome back to Ballin with Bill. I have a very neat special guest here, known for a while, Mr. Ryan Thompson from Ashland-Greenwood. God, I don't know why I said I could just hit myself in the head.
You got half of it right. You got half of it right.
I always want to call it like I'm in another country or something. But anyway, Greenwood, it's awesome to have you here, Coach.
Well, thanks for having me back. These are a blast to watch, and they're always fun to come and check you guys out what you're doing here. So thank you.
Well, it's great to have you. First question I want to ask is, awesome start. You're ranked number one now, C1. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, I know now that puts that old bullseye on your back a little bit, but talk about it. I mean, I think it's neat.
We talk about it with the kids, and we're not going to hide from it. We talked about how they earned that spot. There's a lot of teams and a lot of players that probably helped them earn that spot throughout the years here at Ashland. So we want to embrace it. We also talked about kind of like what you just said, that target, pressure. It's going to burst a pipe or make a diamond. So we're gonna treat that just like that. We're the only people putting pressure on us is us. These kids have handled it well for a week. Again, they're so goofy and so focused on what they're doing that we really don't pay attention to a lot of that. But we've definitely discussed it, and like I said, it's a honor for the program to have that ranking right now. Now we just got to finish each week out like we have been the last few weeks, and hopefully have an opportunity to finish that strong.
I agree. I mean, I think it's awesome. Before the season started, you had a little bit of adversity. Kind of talk about that, because I think how you came out of that's incredible.
Yeah, every program eventually goes through an injury bug, and we've been really fortunate not to have a lot. This year's our year, and we don't outwardly talk about it because that's just opinion. My opinion is you don't do that. But we lost Cale Jacobson last year to an ACL injury, and he's rehabbing back. We had a couple linemen out, an outside backer, a corner receiver here, our second string quarterback. And it just kind of was one of those things where you came to practice going, who's coming up to me today? But the great thing is our kids rallied around each other. They trusted the process. Do they want those guys out there? Absolutely. But they've really embraced the role of we're going to be great teammates, and we're going to make sure that we do things well, whatever that is. And, so far so good. It's definitely turned out where we've had some great performances by people that may not have been on the field if everyone was healthy.
I got you. Tell us about your young quarterback that ended up kind of stepping up for you this year when you really needed him.
Yeah, so Dane Jacobson has stepped into quarterback one, I guess, as you'd call him. Brother of Cale. He spent time with us all summer, luckily, as our starting quarterback there, splitting a little bit of time with Nick Carroll when Nick Carroll was able to be around. Nick was off doing baseball and was really involved with that. So the good thing is he built up some of that trust. He built up some of that equity, and all of a sudden on like a Tuesday afternoon, we're saying you're in. And I think that's really helped the rest of the team because they knew what they had with him. I want to give credit to Coach Tonjes. He really simplified a lot of our game plan down so that Dane could be successful early. And we've really branched off now because he's just very comfortable and he understands what Coach wants. And it's been awesome to see him grow. And like I was sharing with Mark a little bit ago, he's one of those young kids that don't know better. He's just out there and having fun and having a blast and managing a great game and very, very much a reason why we have had so much success so far.
Talk about how you simplify it, because I know that's the hardest thing. You got the veterans coming back. You think they're coming back, so you try to think about putting your whole package in. So, and you get this young man that's a heck of an athlete. And so how did you simplify it?
Number one, we took a lot of our passing game and got it down to one read. It was either this or that. Running game, truly, we took our quarterback run out. Not having another quarterback after that, we decided not to run our quarterback so far. And we're a big quarterback running team.
Big time.
I mean, it's a very big dynamic in our program. So that was able to allow Coach Tonjes and our offensive guys maybe to add a little bit of receiver plays, jet plays, counters off that. And to be honest, we went to our O-line and said, you guys are pretty veteran let's go ahead and help out our backfield a little bit. And they really took that to heart and has helped out Dane. Our tailbacks now are running the ball. We got a couple, 2-3 of them running the ball really strong right now. So, luckily we were able to form some good things around Dane, and now he's starting to get some of that playbook back that we kind of maybe didn't put everything in right away.
Gotcha. So how do you miss the quarterback run? I mean, because I know I've watched you play. That's a big part of your offense.
As a defensive coordinator, just having that in the back of your mind, knowing that the quarterback could run, and just another dynamic. It's 11 on 11 now.
Right.
Right now with Dane not running, it is a little bit of 11 on 10. They don't have to worry about maybe a scramble. They don't have to worry about our veer or
which is one
option.
of your staples of your offense for a long time.
And we love it. So, we just got back to really basic power football with a little bit of dressing with the jet stuff. And, as we get more comfortable and maybe some guys back, we may be able to add that back in. But right now it's not broke, so we're not trying to fix anything.
No, you got to know. I agree. I mean, I totally agree. No, I mean, because I just know your offense and what you've always done in the past. That had to be an adjustment for everybody. Just
and not that we have a big playbook as it is, but it was kind of funny watching Coach Tom just kind of cross some things off and say, let's focus on this and let's go. So he does a great job. The offensive guys that help him out, Coach Barana, Coach Craven, they really have done an amazing job this year getting that offense humming.
It's been great. So, yeah, I know. I mean, because you went in a tough game right off the beginning. I remember it down in Auburn.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're a good team. You're a good team. You're kind of going with a new quarterback. So, how did that? I mean, because that was a wildfire. I was listening to that radio a little bit.
Yeah, it took years off myself here, but
started looking like me, huh?
Yeah, we're going into. We knew Auburn was going to be solid. They had a great quarterback that we thought would play quarterback, the Dixon kid. Great O-line, and just they came right out and took it to us. They kind of smacked us in the mouth with 2 long drives, and we found ourselves down 14-3 in no time. A staple of our team, luckily, the last few years is just we've never quit, and our kids really believe in each other, and went to work and got some things going, and Dane settled in and had a great pass to Evan Shepard toward the end of the game there to, I can't remember if that one was to take the lead or if the other one was to take the lead, but just right off the bat, he showed that he could handle those big-time situations, and luckily there at the end, Logan Sabota stepped in front of a pass and sealed the win for us with a few seconds left.
I know. I mean, it was
amazing.
And you're one of the few ones that started on time that night.
Well, right.
We were up here and everything.
It's 100 degrees all week, and all of a sudden we got shower in the forecast, and we're going, where was that at? So yeah, I heard a lot of people had to finish late that night.
Oh yeah,
and luckily we were done still by that 9 o'clock time.
I know you're one of the few ones that got that break. Come north a little bit, everybody was in delay.
That's nuts.
If you'd have probably played here instead of down there.
Been in a delay. Yeah, absolutely.
It was an interesting evening. But anyway, so I just think that's tremendous what you did there to get her going. I mean, I think to come out your first game and get a big win over a very good team on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to take your hats off to your team, your offensive line, and what you did to get that started, because you've kind of it's gotten better every week. You beat a great team up there, Wayne, right? Because you went to Wayne too, didn't you?
We got to play them at home. Yep, we did get to play them at home. But yeah, looking back on our opponents so far, our 5 opponents, they all have been very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good quality opponents through 5 games. A couple 4-1 records, actually 3 of them, a couple 3-2 records. So the good thing is we have been playing quality opponents. We have been getting better every week. And I do think that Auburn game was a little bit of a springboard that our kids knew that things were going to be okay.
Right.
We got a guy that we can trust. We're able to trust our O&D line, and I give all the credit to those kids. They prepare very hard all week.
That's awesome. I mean, I think when you won that game, I thought that was a good start, especially for your young quarterback. I really did.
Yeah.
I think it helped you, springboarded you and everything because ever since then you've been like biting nails out there.
It's been it's been good being where we're at, and defensively, it just seems like they're feeding off that energy. They know that the offense is going to give them a couple scores. and it really is able to let us fly around and just pin our ears back a little bit too. So
Let's since we're talking about offense, let's talk about your offensive line and
Yep.
what the key. Because I mean, your off season, what you did to prepare. Because I think that's first credit that a lot of people don't realize. That's really held your team together offensively and kind of got them off to a good start. Probably made your quarterbacks
Oh,
a
absolutely.
little calmer. So
Yep.
talk about those kids a little bit.
We were returning. I think we lost two good guys to graduation, and then we were returning quite a bit of playing time and starters coming back. So those guys, they what we love about it, Coach Bronick really makes being a lineman special there, and they really love playing on the line. Like, we've had kids in the past that we're okay playing on the line. Maybe they'd rather have been fullback or tight end,
We'd all rather.
And everyone would like. I
was
get
an
it.
old lineman. I wanted
get
to be
it.
a fullback or tight end too.
But they really take it to heart that they're the soul of our team up front. So they did a tremendous job. They were all in the same weightlifting session group in the summer,
Good.
working together. They would once a week on their own. They approached me. They wanted to get together and run through schemes on their own, and I was like, all for that. I don't need to be there either. So they were just ready to go when August came. We had a couple camps this summer, and you could tell that they were ahead of the game just because they trusted each other and they've been working together. And I agree. I mean, that takes time to get 5 to 6 guys to work together.
And I coached it and played it, yes.
And they're doing really well right now. They're playing at a high level.
Awesome. I mean, I just think, I look at your offense and how they've gotten better every week, and your quarterbacks matured every week. But I think that offensive line is the big key. Are they good in the weight room too?
Oh yeah, those guys.
Love those big guys. Man.
We may walk up the bus and you may not seem like they're big, but we got some good farm kids up front. We got some good kids that work hard every day.
They enjoy the weight room,
and they enjoy the weight room.
Good.
They enjoy just being physical with each other.
Right.
So practices have been great when they get to go against each other. Our scout team, it seems like we're always having great battles up front, and that's huge because at our level, sometimes you don't have enough guys to go on that scout team to produce enough competition. But I really feel like we have that, and that's one reason why we are pretty good up front.
Gotcha. So like this summer, we did that thing with you out there at Barry's house. I noticed you came from practice, and so I mean, how many hours do you guys spend the summer working with lifting and all that stuff at camps you go to? I mean, because I think that's the builder of your blocks to get the season started off.
So the weight room, they get about 45 minutes to an hour full pre-weight room, weight room, and a little bit after with a little bit of movement. We go to a Hastings College camp for 3 days. We do some 7-on-7 stuff. We bring about 8 teams in and host it with Platteview as well. We kind of
nice.
We kind of split about, I think, 14 teams this year from both sites, and then we have our end of the summer camp, and that was the one that we came over from.
Yeah.
So I think we do just enough to not be burned out. I feel like the kids need the summer. They're going to be pulled about 12 ways. We want to make sure they go spend family time. They need to get on a vacation if they can.
Right.
And that's the same with the coaches. I need them out. I need them recharged. But when they commit and they come in for those camps and those weight room sessions and everything, they are all in. And it's awesome because I do think we have a real good dynamic on our staff that quality is definitely better than quantity. If you get your job done and it's good, we're good. We don't need to lock ourselves in a room for a while. So I think we just have a real good dynamic as a program right now that we're going to work hard. We don't need to take 4 hours to do it. We're going to get our job done, and we're going to be very comfortable with what's about to happen the next day. So, yeah.
Good. Now, as far as your defense, let's talk a little bit there.
Yeah.
Since you are the DC and the mind behind this defense,
there you go.
Talk a little bit about it this year. What have you done differently?
Yeah.
Kind of go through your process.
We really simplified it. We maybe got a little bit too cute last year with some things and maybe had too many things going on in the kids' head. So we really simplified it back down to base reads. We're going to be really good at our base defense, and we're going to fly to the ball. So, we added our safeties. We gave them a little bit more leeway. They can be in the run game. Last year I felt like they were in coverage too much, even though I get they need to be in coverage, but there's certain tip-offs that we can keep them in the run game as well. But we preach a couple things. We preach 99 rule. We want 9 guys at the ball 90% of the night. Our highest ever total was last week, and it was 87%. So we're getting closer to that. We've never had a 90. Never had a 90. It's tough. Maybe it's us coaching. We're being tough on them, but it has been tough. That's good rule. And then one we took from Navy, and that was get 6. We want to get 6, any combination of 3 and out, 4th down stop, or a takeaway. And if you think about so far this season, most teams, we have about 12 possessions. If we can take 6 of them away, that gets us in a pretty good spot.
Right.
So we really preach those 2 things, and so far the kids have really taken that to heart, and we just fly around and play our base defense at a high level.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back.
Game film. It's an essential part of evaluating your team's performance and preparing for your next game. And when it comes to game film, perspective is everything. If you've been filming with a shaky iPhone footage, film from the top of a stadium, are you even really watching game film? It's time to take it to the next level with the Legacy End Zone camera. And when I mean the next level, I mean way up there. The Legacy End Zone camera is a professional solution to high quality game footage to give your team competitive advantage. Let's take a look at some of the features. Film everything with a Sony HD camera powered with an external power pack battery, sits on a motorized hand tilt unit, extends up to 27 foot with lightweight but sturdy carbon fiber tubing with easy to use quick release latches. You can view all your footage on the 7-inch LCD monitor with a 6-hour battery. Control everything with wired or wireless controls, and it comes with this waterproof travel case. So if you want to rise above the competition, give Sideline Power a call or find the Legacy End Zone camera on our website. And remember, stay powered up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ballin with Bill at Sideline Power here. I'm with Coach Thompson out at Ashland-Greenwood. I said it right.
I got it.
Thank
Nailed
you. Yes. All right. So I want to continue on the defense and talk about your personnel and how you grouped it this year and what you did different. We talked about what you did different last year, but what you're doing now different. Just kind of explain that a little bit and how the kids have all kind of come along.
Yeah, so we base out of a 3-4 defense. We feel like we have great team speed, so we want to get as many of those guys out there as possible. We're really fortunate right now to almost platoon our lines. So we got a lot of fresh guys up front on offense and defense. That doesn't mean they're not going to play both ways, but if we're very comfortable with what they're doing, we're able to get some guys some rest. And I remember, a few years ago playing a SCOTUS team that did that same thing, and boy, it was hard to stop them. It wears you down pretty quick. So every year, if we have the opportunity, we try to do that. So this year we've been able to do that quite a bit. We don't feel like we're missing a beat up front. So that's kind of one thing we got going for us. Otherwise, we try to be as gap sound as possible, just like any team. We want to line up correctly. We want to over communicate. And then when it comes down to it, those kids are really good. Sometimes you have kids that can really understand a game plan. Mm-hmm. Right now we got those kids. We have those kids that kind of understand what that offense is trying to do over there.
And it changes week to week.
And absolutely it changes week to week. But I could tell you several times on the field when our safeties have gotten us into great positions because they kind of saw what was coming. So it's easy as coach that way, if they see it before you do. But really our defense is they just thrive off of getting into that second and long. They're getting into that third and long, just like anyone would.
Right.
But they're really excited on first down to make sure that the offense is off schedule.
Gotcha. Because when I was coaching, mm-hmm. I thought that safety was so important. And when you had a good one,
oh, yeah.
It's amazing how much better your defense did
Yep.
on the field with adjustments,
Yep.
especially if they motion or they move or anything like that on you.
Yep.
If you don't, sometimes you're right. You're yelling from the sideline,
Yep.
check.
You're a man short. You're
right,
a man
yeah,
less.
and then
Yep.
you're sitting there trying to fill, and the guy that's supposed to be
Yeah.
there is in the wrong because he got the wrong check.
Yep. No, yeah,
I mean,
you're
so
100%
talk about your safety.
right.
I mean, 'cause that was the biggest challenge.
So
Finding that kid that could do that for you on the field.
You know, we had Kale last year, Kale Jacobson. I was
Right.
able to do that. Right now, he's still recovering, rehabbing. So we have a senior and a freshman there right now, and that's
wow.
Evan Shepard's our
freshman.
senior, and freshman is Thomas Spears, and they're really a great contrast of each other. And they both do things really well. If I had to split the two, Evan is amazing in coverage. And Thomas, boy, he's at the line of scrimmage if you can ask
fill.
him to be there. So right now, we're trying our best to set them up for that type of success. Some teams that are going to spread us out, sometimes you can't have that all the time. But
Right.
those guys really play well off each other. They kind of understand their roles, and they understand how the defense should look in front of them.
Right.
And like you said, with motion, with trades, if a funky formation comes out,
Somebody gets
Yep.
overloads one
Yep.
side with the
So
offensive line. You got to have that check too.
they've kind of stored it in their head, and they can get us going. So again, it makes me look like a real good coach, and
It does.
and I'll give them all the credit, and they know it. But they again, saying it quite a bit. A lot of kids are playing at a very high level, and not just athletically. Their minds are just really going.
My experience, just like yours, Coach Thompson, I always felt that intelligent is important too. You can have a gifted athlete, but if he can't make the adjustments or adjust on the field,
Yep. Yeah.
it doesn't work.
I agree. I mean, you kind of look right now, and we got kids' as grades really high up there. And you're right. It's almost an exact translation onto the field. Sometimes you have those
Right.
weird ones that don't always. You're always wondering, but right now the correlation's pretty high. So
I think
we're fortunate to be with the kids we have right now.
Because I think people don't give that enough credit.
Yep.
That the kids need to be intelligent out there on the field at a moment's notice.
Oh yeah.
Can't second guess it. I mean, because everything happens like that out there.
Oh, it's
It's not like you can read a
things are
book and
flying.
you have to see it like that.
Yeah, you can't go back to the last play and try to figure it out. You have to kind of fight through it, and those guys adjust us pretty quick.
That's awesome, because I think that's the hardest thing about defense is it's all reaction, and you have to be intelligent to do that. And sometimes kids don't get enough credit on that.
Oh,
'cause I think
absolutely.
they're
Yeah.
more talented than people realize.
Oh, yeah.
Intelligence-wise. So
Yep.
especially at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how the season's progressed. Okay, you got her going, and talk about how do you keep the chemistry going right
Yeah.
now? Because I think that's the hardest thing for coaches sometimes, at least in my experience, is you get on top and you're 1-1. Now, how do you keep that so
Yeah.
we don't go here and then have that bad game that knocks you off?
Yeah.
That you don't play to your potential.
What we've been kind of harping on all year, every team sets probably the same goal. They want to get to the playoffs, and then at the playoffs they want to play their best and
Right.
and leave everything on the field, and whatever happens happens. So how we tried to equate that this year was we want to develop elite habits early that it can be used in week 9, 10, 11, hopefully as far as possible.
Explain that. That's interesting.
So what we did, and Coach Craven kind of came up with this. Basically, it's the habits we're forming in week 1, 2, 3 are going to be the ones that we are going to fall back on when adversity hits in weeks 8, 9, 10, and so on. So, when we have those lull moments during the week, or when we think, kids, they're teenagers, when they think they've arrived or not arrived, we always kind of come back to saying, in week 10, are you happy with what you're doing right now? Are you okay to fall back on what we did just today, or did we waste today and now we have to make up for it again? So I think the kids kind of understand that, that in the heat of the moment, like you said, when you react, you're going to react to your lowest level of training. So we're hoping that we built those habits up, and we're hoping that, when we have those moments during that long season, that the kids understand that when we talk about being present, and always looking to be elite and working toward our purpose, our goal that's out here, that gets them back to the focus they have. And luckily, we've only had a couple, maybe a small handful of moments during the year where it's like, all right, we're somewhere else right now. We gotta get it back together, and they've done a great job of that. So
How do you train that though? I mean, that's what I'm interested.
I don't know.
Because I think that's such a big key. How do you
as-
train that so you keep that kids at that level focused?
As coaches, I think, for a little bit that the team is a reflection of our staff.
I agree.
And I think those kids understand that we're going to do everything possible for them. We're not going to, again, we don't have to grind till midnight. We don't have to be in the
You don't sleep on your couch?
Yeah, we don't have to do that stuff. But we're going to do things right, and we're going to make sure that our kids have every opportunity to succeed. And I think, on the back end of that, then they see that and they understand that we are always focused. We are always trying to create good habits for us and them. So on the back side of that, I think it starts to cultivate a little bit. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well, I just think that's neat because I like hearing about this stuff because it just shows me how much coaching keeps improving and getting better all the time with these kids, and I think that's neat.
Yeah.
Just like your tackling's changed. I mean, how we tackle, we always got the head across.
Yeah.
You guys come in.
The helmets are clean now. Back in the day, those helmets wouldn't be like that.
Yeah, I know. Because we always come across that head now.
Yep.
You guys, and
It's
I
all
think
behind.
it's neat how you do that and try to teach that and get that accomplished every week.
I mean, kids. We're in the day and age. The kids want to kind of know why. They want to know what's the reason why, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, sometimes you want to look at them and say because, but
just run through that wall, kid.
In all reality, you better have a why behind it, and if you don't have an answer, you probably shouldn't be doing it anyway. So, I think that's good for coaches to remember that too.
Right.
So,
but anyway, because I remember one time I met the head coach. I'm trying to remember his name, at Minnesota, the Vikings, back in the day when he won all those things. And he said, he always ate carrots. Bud Grant.
All right.
And he'd come up to me. And I was a young coach, younger than you are right now. You're way younger than I am. But anyway, he goes to me, Bill, you know the secret of coaching. And he's been to 4 Super Bowls. He's been around a long time. Played in pro sports, both basketball and football.
Different time, huh?
Yeah, different time.
Different
Played both of them.
dude.
Played for the Minneapolis. Can't remember, he played for Calgary Stampede. Then he played for the Minneapolis Stars in basketball.
Okay.
Kind of like a Bob Gibson type guy. And he said, the key is getting quality kids and good coaches around you. And that's how you win.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And he just kept eating the carrot and walked away. That was the knowledge he breathed over that split moment.
There we go.
But
if it was that easy.
So he just walked away. You don't need to spend all those. I was trying to say you don't need to spend all those hours watching films. Kind of what you said. You don't need to spend all the hours doing this. Get quality people, get quality kids, work with them, do your thing. What you're doing. So I kind of think that's kind of neat what you're doing.
No,
that's what you're doing.
That's a great way to put it.
You're not staying up. You're not staying up all night, laying on the couch, watching film forever. You're getting your jobs done, and I just think that's cool. I think that's fun how you kind of do that here and have a lot of success, and that's awesome.
Yeah, it's worked for us, and again, I'll never, say that you can't do it another way because I know plenty of coaches that do it the other way, and they are very successful. Just we found a very good balance of what we do, and I know it's good when coaches are happy, families are happy, kids are happy, parents. So as far as I know, unless I see something new that happens, we'll kind of stick with what we're doing right now.
Yeah, because when I was a young coach too, another coach told me there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean everybody it's getting the right group together, which it keeps a good coefficient. And, you roll.
Yeah.
And I think you guys have done very well, and I think this year you kind of showed how well you work with the kids, and I think that's great. Take your hat off to you guys.
Well, I appreciate it.
And I don't want to jinx it.
You're not going to.
Don't want to put the Dan and Howard jinx on you.
You're fine. You are perfectly fine.
Because we're out here in Ashland, we're part of the business, so we get to see all
absolutely.
you guys, and it's kind of neat how you guys kids are coming along and playing well.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's fun to coach with a good group, quality kids, and makes your life a lot easier. But I will say the kids are working hard, and it's fun to watch them succeed too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Any keys you see throughout the season now? I mean, your vision the future here. What do you? any major keys? I mean, most important thing is you stay healthy.
Yeah,
that is the key.
Number one is healthy, and I just as long as we prepare and play hard, good things happen. I'm not going to say the scoreboard is always going to be in our favor, but if we feel like at the end of the night that we put a good week in and our kids left it out there, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Those what if games are the tough ones where, well, what if we had a Tuesday back? What if we had the third quarter back? Those things are hard. But as long as we can walk off that field going, you know what, we threw it all in for 5 days and this is where we're okay. I've been around long enough that usually if you do that, that scoreboard usually is taking care of itself in that anyway. 90% of the time probably, but I think that's key. Just we're going to prepare like we do every week. We're not going to put any pressure on ourselves. We're going
That's the best way to be.
We're going to have fun and hopefully get some of our guys back and keep the guys that are out right now and just throw everything we can at the season and try to make it as long as possible.
Gotcha. I hope you continue with a ton of success.
Yeah, thank you.
I really do. And you kind of do what I kind of believe too. Like, I always heard man in the mirror.
Oh yeah,
man in the mirror.
absolutely.
Look at yourself. If you lose a Tuesday, look at yourself in the mirror.
And we've actually said not the man in the mirror, but we have that. We've said that before this year too. It's it's us versus us for 4 days. We can't control anything else, but we can control each other. And right now, and I think the kids listen. I think they work with it, and we not that we're trying to bring them down a level, but we want to make sure that we're still working, being a great teammate and working for where our program wants to go. So, yeah.
Awesome. I got to ask you this because I never heard it, but the 9 for 90.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that? That's cool. And I think that you graded every game. And, and the best you've been is 87%, which is very good.
It's very good.
So where'd you come up?
So,
because I've been around a lot of coaches.
I was at a Glacier clinic in Colorado. Just happened to sit in on some random defensive
It's amazing
session.
what you can learn.
And he popped that up, and I was hooked within 30 seconds. I'm like, that's easy, that's measurable, that's understandable. Kids understand.
Can get that.
Yep. So right away we took it back to the staff, and I'm like, here's how it works. What do you think? And they're all in. The 9 guys to the ball just means that we should see when that ball carrier's down or when the tape goes off, we should at least see 9 guys still sprinting to the ball. Maybe 4 are there, but as long as we are sprinting and making an effort, we're okay. So, sometimes that backside corner won't be in the video. Sometimes that front side D end just might not have been able to get up and get going. But if we can get a sprint on film, we count it.
Gotcha.
So, because they are making the effort to get there.
And that's the whole thing, to get kids to chase the ball, to get them in a good position and get after that ball and make the tackle.
So it's been great.
Which I think is a measurable thing, which is neat.
Coach Jensen follows that. He charts that. He charts all our tackling, and kids know where we're at every Monday. They know what we missed in the tackling, if it was drive, if it was track, if it was gather, if it was whatever. And then they know exactly where we are at in our 99 rule as well. So we can say this is maybe why the game went this way or maybe not, and what do we need to work on this week. Well, we missed 12 tracking. Okay, our tracking was bad, so let's work tracking this week in practice.
Right.
So yeah.
Because how long you've been to DC for? How long there?
Since 08. Well, since 07.
And you've never got a 9 for 90.
Well, now we haven't used this every year. This is probably maybe 4 or 5 years.
Well, that's a lot.
But still, this was our highest total since last year. Was an 86 one year. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good hustle.
It
Let
is.
them hustle.
Yeah, it beats the alternative, obviously. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the honor.
Absolutely.
I mean, I spent time with us up here at Sideline Power, and me and Mark and you and hanging out and talking.
I appreciate it. I learned
something tonight. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
And I want to wish you all well and good
Thank
luck
you.
this week against Malcolm as we finish up with the old.
We're doing it.
We're ready.
Let's go.
We're ready, brother.
Let's go.
Ashland-Greenwood. Hush, hush, hush.
Awesome.